You ready? You ready? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get started. Welcome, Woodbury, to your Village Board meeting of May 22nd, 2025. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for Patricia Hand, who lost her courageous battle with cancer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. All right, with all of these, I can continue the journey to the next meeting, correct? But I'll do the public hearing now, except for the two. And if anybody wants to speak on it. All right, continue public hearing. Introductory Local Law 4 of 2025, amending the Village Comprehensive Plan. Public hearing is being held to entertain public comments on Introductory Local Law 4 of 2025. The purpose of ensuring full opportunity for citizen participation in the preparation of the proposed amendment to the Comprehensive Plan. Public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on April 10th, 2025. And I am going to start by, if anybody in the public wishes to speak on this. I will tell you that this is probably, in all likelihood, going to be kicked to our second meeting of June, which I will announce later. So, yeah, 26th it is. So if anybody wishes to speak on this now, you may do so, but you'll have another opportunity at the next meeting, or at the meeting of the 26th. So going once, going twice. All right. Okay. Can I ask the board if anybody has any questions on this for the time being? Okay.
One question. The GML report questioned why the reservoir and the pond were removed from the list of open spaces. Just wanted some clarity on that if anybody has insight. I know they were on the original list and then it was edited a few times back and forth. And there's some discrepancy in the GML about whether they're technically public, but they're only for village residents versus being Harriman State Park is open to all New York State residents.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look. Back, compare.
Okay. I assume too we're going to incorporate. I mean, obviously we had the engineers with the new maps and everything. We're going to incorporate, which is why we're kicking it. And then I guess we'll incorporate the GML comments from the county as well as the engineer report.
Well, we have to incorporate the engineer's comments, and that hasn't. But we're also getting the quotes for you for the maps. The board talked about getting those updated.
Right. I recall. Thank you.
Yep.
All right. Can I have a motion?
I have
Okay.
one comment. The attachment, which is on the village website at the moment, includes sections of the municipal code, the current municipal code that were apparently copied off this month. Ordinarily, putting or printing and incorporating it as part of this local law, this master plan amendment, runs the risk of having subsequent amendments to the code be different from what is in this statute. And I would recommend that we not include the actual code, but that we simply reference the codes in those sections of the amended, or the, I guess that's amended open space plan.
Can I have a motion and a second to adjourn this public hearing to our June 26th meeting? Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving on. Public hearing is being held to entertain public comment on introductory local law 6 of 2025, amending chapters 310 and A314 of the Code of the Village of Woodbury to revise the submission requirement to the Planning Board and Architectural Review Board. Public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on April 24th. And once again, Planning Board meeting was held last night. We still have to incorporate those comments from the Planning Board into this local law. So at this time, I will ask if anybody in the public wishes to speak on this, but we will probably address this. We will address this at our next scheduled meeting, which is June 12th. So anyone in the public wishing to speak on Planning Board copies? All right, so can I have a motion and a second to adjourn this to our June 12th meeting?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, hardship moratorium waiver request. I will read it. A public hearing is being held to entertain public comments for requested relief from local law 9 of 2024 for property located at 33134 Route 17. Public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on May 1st, 2025. So once again, the New York State Thruway Authority has asked us to adjourn this to our June 26th meeting. In the meantime, anyone in the public wishes to speak on this? Okay. Can I have a motion and a second to adjourn this to our June 26th meeting? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I do have some comments. I was concerned about this current draft.
That's being substantially revised.
I understand, but I'm concerned that somebody is missing some important aspects of it because it's 7 million gallons a day of, or 7 million gallons a year of consumption. Also, that they are going to be removing the well, which means that the truck washing is going to be done with village water, which I don't think is necessary or desirable. That system, when we spoke about this at the original public hearing last year, I guess, that system could be isolated entirely from the potable water system. I don't think potable water should be used for, in this case, essentially an industrial use. I also saw there was a lot of discussion about the metering, but there is no discussion about having the system protected by a reverse flow preventer, an RPZ valve, which would be standard practice where you have these kinds of large water users that could possibly backflow into the system. This should be reviewed by the engineer as to the design, because there's nothing on the sketch designs that were provided that indicate that they're taking this protection or isolating the system with the well water from any of the potable water potential connections.
Thank you.
It's 740,000 gallons for the year. There is an RPZ valve at the beginning of the common system, which would suffice for them, because they're tying into the common system. And they were told that they have to cap the other well because they were afraid of cross-contamination.
Thank you, Mickey, but I don't understand how you could have cross-contamination if the systems are entirely isolated.
They wouldn't be, because the pipe come in, they're going to tie into the existing pipe that's on property.
But that does,
Cap the well at the wellhead.
Hmm.
And most DEC places now make you pull the well out.
understand, but in this case, the well water, their well water would essentially suffice for use for,
The New York State DOH, from what they told us.
well, I don't know if they understood that that was what the original proposal from them was to physically,
Just that they were going to use that. That was our meeting today when we had with Kelly and the mayor and Desiree, and we brought that up.
and they, even though it's physically isolated,
They weren't going to isolate it. They wouldn't let. That's what they told us.
well, I'm just saying that I'm not sure where or how the washing is completed, but it could literally be done by having a totally separate system serving just that bay.
I understand that, and you understand that. We can discuss that with them at a further date and try to get their DOE.
That's my request.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Do I have an all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, public comment on agenda items only. Ladies and gentlemen, the agenda is on the small table. If anybody wishes to speak on anything that is on this evening's agenda, this would be the moment to ask. Going once, going twice. Administrative business. Can I have a motion and a second to accept receipt of the minutes of the meeting held on May 8th, 2025?
Motion.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Village Clerk McLennan, will you please read abstract 23?
Abstract 23 contains vouchers 2425 through 2642 through 2425 through 2797 and totals $182,281.72.
All right, thank you. Can I have a motion and a second to approve abstract 23 as read?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Fire Department membership applications. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the following applications for membership in the Woodbury Fire Department? For Claude Nepal, Simon Zafir, and Seth Peterson, all pending physicals.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, membership status change. So can I have motion and a second to change the membership status of the following individuals from active to inactive, effective immediately, as requested by Woodbury Fire Department Chief Chris Burke, John Finnegan, Tyler Hennessy, and Johnny Gonzalez.
So moved.
Second.
Trustee Farrelly. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Appointment to the water, wastewater maintenance, or your department, Mickey. So can I motion in a second to appoint Stephen McKevitt with the hire date effective June 2nd, 2025, and an hourly rate of $31.15 with the title of Water Wastewater Maintenance Worker Trainee.
Motion.
Thank you. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Moving on to another appointment. I have a motion and a second to appoint Lauren Goff with a hire date effective, what's the effective? June 9th, at a yearly rate of $45,000, title of Building Department Principal Clerk.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. There's no old business. Moving on to new business. And we're authorizing me to sign stuff. So can I have a motion and a second to authorize me? Oh, come on.
The mayor.
And Jessica McLennan, the village clerk. Oh, wait, actually, I got to do it like this. Jessica McLennan, the village clerk. To sign the 2025-2026 collection warrant, tax collection warrant.
All motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. It's your opportunity again to authorize me to do things. So can I have a motion and a second to authorize me? Thank you. To sign the general municipal insurance renewal with Marshall and Sterling.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, policy renewal. So can I have a motion and second to accept the policy, proposal, I should say, as submitted by PERMA for our workers' compensation renewal policy?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Sterling appraisal?
Yeah, that's next.
Oh.
Okay. All right, one last, well, no, I got two more things. Can I have motion and a second now to authorize me? to sign a proposal with Sterling Appraisals for the appraisal of 77 Roselawn Road.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I
Aye.
have a I have a question. The property in question is around one of our wells, correct?
It's near one of our wells.
Near one of it. Okay.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Do I have an all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. I do have an additional item today. We had a meeting today with the police department, Town of Woodbury Police. So I'll read it. There was a complaint received by the Town of Woodbury Police Department against the towing company that is a license from the village. That company is AutoGo. The complaint was investigated by Lieutenant Phillips and Sergeant Kristen Potter. After discussing the matter with them and upon a review of the village's regulations, AutoGo has violated Chapter 283 of the Village Code by charging fees that are in excess of what are permitted, and by claiming to only accept cash when they have to, as per our law, accept alternative methods of payment, such as credit cards. This will not be tolerated in the Village of Woodbury, and this has been a problem year after year after year with these vendors. So, in accordance with 283-19A of the Village Code, I am looking for a motion and a second to suspend AutoGo's towing license in the Village of Woodbury for 30 days, and to authorize council to advise them of such submission.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. If AutoGo does not accept the suspension, they have a right to request a hearing within 10 days, and that would be done here at the village meeting. So, ladies and gentlemen, in record time, we are done with the business of the village. So, at this time, it is time for everybody's favorite portion of the program that we call public comment. So, anyone, chomping at the bit. All right, starting at the front row. Go ahead, Greg.
Thank you. Afternoon or evening, everyone. Greg McLeod, Highland Mills. Just wondering, is there an update on the fish up in Carmel Lake, and have you heard from the DEC yet?
The DEC decided they were not going to investigate it any further.
Really?
They didn't test the water, nothing. That was the extent of, we reported it, we spoke on it, and then they did, what does the Italians call it? Ungazzi.
That's disappointing. Okay.
There you got it.
That's all I got tonight.
That's all. Thank you, Greg. Anyone else? You know what, at this point, just head to the podium, okay? Put it, another way to put it.
Jimmy Ng, Highland Mills. So before I start, I owe the mayor of the board, everybody that attends and everyone who watches the meeting, an apology for my actions last meeting. I don't apologize for my comments, but I do apologize because it was maybe with the wrong audience, and I understand that. But because I'm passionate about this, I'm engaged about this, and sometimes I don't watch what I say, when I say it, whatever. And I do apologize, and I'll try to do better. And I guess I'm gonna strike out again as soon as I say that, but
I love your honesty, Jim.
I am. You know,
You know
I have my
very well,
faults,
you know where you-
without a doubt. As far as I know, there is a petition going around Woodbury asking the DEC to declare the Village of Woodbury as lead agency regarding this annexation of Ace Farms. They've been very. I've read the petition. I've read all of it, and they're very upfront with what they're asking people to sign for. I had a couple of people reach out to me. Hey, there's another petition going around regarding Ace Farms. There's mention of putting out on the ballot and just stuff beyond me. But I have issues with this. If there is a legitimate petition going around, why have they not been to the village board meetings or the town board meetings or outwardly posting on social media what I want their signatures for. So I've been asking around, like, what is it? And it's just rumors and whispers, but yes, there is a petition going around. But then it was also brought to my attention that it's some way or form related to the Woodbury Democrats. My question here is now, Matt, James, do you know anything about this?
I will respond here that that's a political matter and campaign related. We want to try and stick to village business in this meeting. I'm aware of the other petition that you referenced carried by, I want to say Jackie and her folks, the Hernandezes. Don't want to comment too much on that either. Once again, leave that to the lawyers and the folks that we've hired to deal with the annexation issue. It's all in the same vein is what I would say.
So, I know Jackie's, I know that petition. Okay, it is a group trying to help Woodbury. That petition is outwardly naming, the DEC, to get the DEC to name the Village of Woodbury as lead agency. So what you're saying, you are familiar with this second petition, but what is the second petition for? That's the question. Can we get some transparency here? Or no?
I'll be transparent here. Why not? Of course. So similar to everybody actually who's run on this board, we're gathering petitions for an independent line. Tons of folks have done that. I know town folks have done it. I believe it's working for Woodbury. These folks have Woodbury first. We decided to petition for an independent line as well related to that topic.
So this has nothing to do with the annexation of Ace Farms. This is,
It's
I
a
get it.
political
I get that.
topic, yes, but
It's
Once
it's
again,
a simple
it's
yes
a-
or no. That's the
Yes.
question. If you want to say you don't want to get into it, that there is something you don't want to disclose here now, just say so, and I walk off I sit down.
Sir, you just apologize for talking to the wrong audience. You're once again talking to the wrong audience.
Talking to you is the wrong audience anytime. So, but my question is that it seems like there's something going on, and you don't want to speak about it. So be it. I understand. Keep hiding. Thank you. I apologize. Very important.
So there's that.
it's fine.
Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Lisa, I knew you were chomping at the bit.
Lisa Hintz. Is this on? It is. Talk
I
louder.
just want to make note of Anthony. You're such a gentleman, and handsome at that as well. I need favors.
So, Lisa Hintz, Highland Mills. Good evening, everybody. I wanted to start to update everybody on some of the things the Climate Smart Committee's doing. I wanted to thank Rob. Thank Rob. He helped me out in a bind when I needed to move a big tree. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. The Climate Smart has been working, as you know, and I've reported here, with the Monroe Woodbury High School students. They created their own committee club called the Sustainability Warriors. And we brought them 4 different lectures this year. Our last lecture was Ermin from Orange County DPW. He spoke to them about recycling and composting a little bit. But at the end of that lecture, and Sue was there and Andrew was there, Ermin talked to the kids about how they could make a change within their own school. And there is a program called Orange County Green Star Kids. And it's about how they can bring composting and recycling to their school. And, I thought, all right, this is great. In my mind, I'm like, oh, we'll tackle that for next year. A young gentleman stood right up and he went right over to Ermin, how can we do this? High school student, and I was just like, amazed that he got it. Like, he heard it, he got it, and he's going to work on this program. He's working on getting some juniors that can continue this program because he's a senior. But it touched me. We've been doing this for 4 sessions with these kids, and I know they hear us, but finally, this kid got it. And then on Monday, again, Sue and Andrew and I were there. They do something called Shark Tank, where each kid or group of kids are responsible for an environmental project, and one that they're going to pull through to the end, not just a hypothetical like, how about? And we sat there for 3 hours, and these programs that these kids are coming up with ranged from a Monopoly game on water conservation, a virtual game on PFAS, which was one of the guest speakers we brought them. There, one on gardening and composting, which we discussed with them. Like, they heard us, and it just there were so many, right?
There was a
Fast fashion.
fast fashion,
And
doing like clothing swaps in the school.
Oh, yep, I was working with
and,
those
yeah,
girls.
that was-
Yeah.
The hiking and the running. Which
Cleaning, yeah.
Right,
Some of them are
5K.
making plastic bracelets from, if you send them plastic bottles, they'll send you bracelets that they've made. It was just, and that was only a part of them, but it was just heartfelt to know that we got through. And we're getting through at a young age. And you guys know, how many times do you remember what your parents taught you, or, things that you just remember from parents? So it just warms my heart to know that some of these sustainable efforts are going to continue to bloom and grow. Currently, I'm working on a grant with Partners in Climate Action. Several of you have written letters of support for me, and I appreciate it. Basically, that grant will allow me to take some trainings and then come back to our community and work on hearing what's needed, sustainable or environmentally. Like, what do we want to, and it's basically our comp plan on steroids. It's just to amp it up. So for everybody that wrote a letter for me, thank you. John, I forgot, I should have started with sympathy on your mom, so sorry. Yeah, I should have started with that, so I apologize. And everybody who's around for Memorial Day, please go out. I know Maria's going to speak to it, but please go out and support our veterans. They look for it. They look for the parade route to be lined with people. So, thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. You really did make a difference with these kids. I got to tell you, it really was. Maria, the floor is yours.
Maria Hunter. First, I want to acknowledge that last week was National Police Week, and this week is National EMS Week. And I want to say special thanks to all of our Woodbury police personnel. And I know we have someone here from Woodbury Ambulance Corps, which I was a member for 17 years. So I know what everyone has to do volunteering for the ambulance. So my sincere thanks to everyone on both those departments. And to follow up with Lisa, with the young adults that are taking an interest and learning different things, I have 6 young adults that are going to be participating in the parade this year. 4 of them are from Monroe Woodbury, and 2 of them are from Cornwall. Tyler Landusky, Josh Gorlin are going to be providing my music again this year at the Victory Park and also by Jay's. Sophia Theokas? Okay, she's going to be singing our national anthem and God Bless America at the memorial service at the cemetery. I have Mary Ella Carney. She's going to be reading Flanders Field, the poem. It's in, if anyone doesn't know what that poem is, it's in the booklet. There's more in the back. And then we have, we have Hudson and Owen from Cornwall. They're going to be trumpeters, playing their trumpets during the parade at each monument, and they're going to be playing taps for us. So I am very proud of these 6 young adults. The 3 of them are returnees from last year, and they were so excited. They answered me instantaneously. We are more than happy to be a part of Woodbury's parade. So, and last night I was in Middletown. The marching middies, we brought them, we had a pizza party last night. They sound great. They were so awesome. They couldn't stop thanking us from the parade committee for supplying them with pizza. When I told them that after the parade, there's also hot dogs, they were, what? So they were all excited. But they were practicing in the rain last night for this parade, and they've been practicing a couple nights prior. So I'm excited that the young adults are taking a part in this, and they're acknowledging what Memorial Day is, what Veterans Day is. What's the third one, Lisa? Veterans Day, Memorial Day? Thank you. So they're participating, and I think it's a great thing. And I know Bill Doyle, who's the commander of the Post, our Woodbury Post, he's excited that we're involving young adults to participate. And like Lisa said, I just ask everyone, the parade starts at what time? Noontime. It's not 1 o'clock. We did it an hour earlier. I had a couple organizations say, what do you mean? So hopefully everyone shows up. The parade will step off at noontime. We have the 2 stops at the 2 monuments, and I do have elected officials from the town and village of Woodbury, village of Harriman, and I have a congressman, senator, and an assemblyman coming to the parade as well. So it's a big event, and it's been taking a lot of my time. So if I've been a little scattered for the last 2 weeks, I apologize. But I look forward to everyone being out there and supporting this endeavor. And also the banners, Highway Department. If it wasn't for you and Desiree and the mayor, let's get this off the ground with the banners and everyone participating. Excuse me?
She's not here. She's not here.
She doesn't do anything. Okay, so I'll take that back. But this has been an ongoing program from over 8 years ago, and that Desiree and I started. And I truly thank everyone who has put an effort through for this. And I'm getting stopped from everyone how great it looks, and they want to do more. So if anyone, we're working on that. So thank you. Did I answer everything for you, the mayor?
I think you did. I think you did. Thank you, Maria. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Jackie Hernandez.
Hello, everyone. Okay, I'm just going to pull this because I can never adjust it. Jacqueline Hernandez, Highland Mills. I just wanted to, first, John Han, I wanted to share my condolences. I have the blessing of living or owning the house that your great grandparents. So it was very nice to have your family come to us, and definitely, you know, as far as your mom, seeing her there was very special for me. So I definitely shared it with your dad, but I wanted to share my condolences. As far as today, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the petition that's going around for the petition to ask DEC to have the Village of Woodbury as the lead agency. There's been a little bit of confusion, I think, for a lot of the families that are signing petitions because, of course, we have the independent petitions that are going around. We also have another petition that has been circulating for Say No to Annexation. That is not, I don't know any information about that second petition going around. I know that there's been questions if we're doing 2 petitions. As far as We the People of Woodbury, there's only one petition that we are doing, and that's the first step of doing this would be to request that DEC assign the Village of Woodbury as the lead. That's the first step in the process. And so the letter just outlines the reasons why we're petitioning for the village to be the lead agency. It can be found on our website, wethepeopleofwoodbury.com, or I do have paper petitions for anybody that's interested just to have a copy. But I just wanted to make sure that there was clarity in that because there were questions, and I just wanted to clear that up. Thank you.
Jackie? Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? Juliana? No? Lily Gerver, anything? You do? You want to? No, she said no. Oh, okay. I tried. All right. What? Come on. All right, going once. Public, going twice. All right, department comments. You spoke a lot tonight, Mickey. I know. I was going to say, you've already quota for the next 3 meetings set. John Hand? Nada? Nada? You got anything? No, we're good. Tara?
What?
Huh? Fire away.
Yeah.
I meant by me.
Yeah, I'm good.
Not we.
Can I have that quick, promise? I don't want you to think I'm stopping you from going home to watch. Huh?
Is there a Nick game on tonight?
No, they lost horribly last night. Horribly. Thank you, Tara Burek. So the petition, Jackie, first of all, thank you very much for that. I've got a lot of parents at the school who have read it. They were unaware of what was going on. Now they are painfully aware of what's going on, and I thank you and your team for spearheading. It's really an information campaign as well, so thank you, because I think that's just reading Facebook, you can see how the ignorance is there, not through anybody's fault. It's a lot of information about a lot of things going on in the village and the town, and I think it's really important for people to put out accurate information, clearly stated, factual information. So thank you. That's point number one. Point number two, yesterday was the public hearing for the county for the open space grant that the county is looking to award the village. I want to thank the mayor for speaking on behalf of, in favor of the county's potentially awarding us that money. This has been a work in progress for the village for many years, many hours. Robin and Neil, you guys are in the audience. Many hours of volunteers' time have gone into identifying parcels of land to preserve for a multitude of reasons. In my opinion, this is one of the better reasons, because you're combining land preservation with climate smart initiatives. So I don't see a downside here. I really don't. And I understand I've been very close to this for many years. But the potential that a grant would be taken away from us for something that we've worked really hard for I don't even understand the reason why. I'm just hoping the county looks beyond that, because it would really be a detriment to the taxpayers in this village of Woodbury and the residents who really could enjoy this space and enjoy the beauty that it brings. If it does end up being a community garden or passive recreation or however it unfolds, the potentials really are endless. I think no bad can come of it. I think that everybody's collective visions will come to fruition and reality. We have a lot of people in the village who are willing to put in the vision, the labor to get it done, the hard work, the sweat, the tears, the volunteer hours. That it's worth 25.6 acres is worth that much. So again, thank you, Mayor. I appreciate your time and everybody who made the effort to get the application submitted to the Orange County legislator to make this a reality for us. So thank you.
Thank you, Tara. All right, going out to the board for board comments, starting at the far end with Trustee Fryban.
Thank you. Just to follow up on some of Maria's comments, if you haven't seen the booklet, the pamphlet, you really should look at it. It's impressive this year. The business participation is more than I've ever seen. It really adds some depth to what we do on Memorial Day. I'd also, like to say that there's obviously a lot of work put into this, and we need to find people to participate both in the parade and along the parade route. It's a long walk, but it's well worth the effort. I encourage all the residents to make an effort to get out Sunday. The weather will be not too bad, and it means a lot to veterans and their families to have this well attended. I also wanted to say, again, on the same note, the banners are really impressive. In my case, I really appreciate it. I sent this around to my family so they could see it. We don't really have access to the cemetery. It's quite a ways away, either half of the country. But having that up there at the parade really adds a dimension to the parade itself. Please attend. Thank you.
Trustee Fabro.
First, I'd like to start by thanking you all for coming tonight. Good to see some returning faces and some I haven't seen in a while. John, I'd like to offer my condolences once again. Patty will be missed. I always remember the crumb cake at the Court of Honors and Boy Scouts, so and I'm sure all the firehouse does too. I'm also happy to hear you guys covered the Memorial Day Parade with Maria, and Lisa covered the climate smart stuff. Happy to hear that those events are all coming along rather nicely and the participation is growing. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to come to that last part of the speaker series, but the first three I attended, and they were very well attended by the kids, and the interaction was great. So I'm happy to hear that they're looking to get even more involved with Climate Smart. And additionally, yeah, the banners look great. I'm excited to seeing everybody at the parade.
Trustee Surreal.
Okay. I want to thank Jackie for explaining, because this is kind of the first I'm hearing of some of these petitions. So thank you for explaining what your petition is. I would honestly like to know what the other petition is. I feel like it's a secret, but I'd really like to know what it is, because you are elected officials and I feel like you're walking around with it and it possibly could represent me as well. So I just would like the courtesy of knowing what it actually says, if you don't mind, if you want to do it after the meeting, but I know nothing about it. So I think that is something that I would like to see. As far as the open space, I think that I've got my fingers crossed for that. I spoke a lot about that open space at school with the kids, especially the kids that were doing the gardening project, and we talked about a lot of different things, but they were super excited about that. And their whole project was to get people to grow food at home, right? And to start that whole process, and how can they get people to be more aware that they can do that. And when I talked about the black dirt and having a community garden, boy, like the light bulbs went on. They were super excited about that. So I have my fingers crossed for that, and I thank everybody for all their hard work on it. It's something that will be so positive for Woodbury. I know Lisa and I have had many discussions about it. And just one final point, one final thing is the high school drama kids are putting on Spelling Bee on June 6th. So if you want to come and support, I think there's a 3 o'clock and a 7 o'clock show. So if you want to come out and support them, it's a really funny, they're calling it a small musical, but it's a very funny comical show. If you like something that you're going to laugh, this is your show. And thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Deputy Mayor, for today.
Thank you for today. Next meeting, we have the junior deputy
I
mayor.
don't know, that Lily Gerver.
Uh-oh. Was it just?
She's not going to have a choice. I'll drag her kicking and screaming.
Was it just
into this
announced?
room, if necessary.
Very slyly?
You can sit next to Kelly.
I mean, how fun is that? Everybody's like,
Wow. She has a heads up. That's great. So anyway, thank everybody for coming out. And it just boggles my mind listening to the comments on the open space, why anybody would be against it. I don't understand it. Open space is a good thing, and this project, this grant that we're trying to get is only going to benefit everybody if it goes through. So, Tara, thank you for your comments. Andrew, thank you for going there yesterday and speaking in favor of it. And Susan, for everything that you did to get it to where it is, because I think that's just going to be a great thing for Woodbury down the road. Having said that, Maria, where are you? I want to thank you for all your hard work on the Memorial Day Parade yet again for another year. And again, I want to thank you for the Memorial Day Parade. All you work on it again another year. It looks like Sunday's going to be a good day, and it won't be so hot. So that's good. That's good for the marchers. And then lastly, just a last reminder: the Knights of Columbus is holding a blood drive right here on June 1st, on Sunday, June 1st, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So please come out and donate blood if you're able to. As I always say, 1 pint of blood saves 3 lives. So come out and donate if you can. Thank you.
You really say that all the time? Yeah. Is that like your opening line? Is that how he picked up his wife? It's the bloodline, right? Hey, baby.
Hey, I can't donate anymore, so I want to get a blood test. So
That's a shame.
yeah.
It's because your blood is like with prune juice and just the permeation of Bengay into your skin system. It's just.
I'm not that old.
Hey, listen, I got some good news. So we've been sitting back with this whole banner program, and we realized we have more poles that we can use for banners. So, that being said, we are going to open it back up. Rob is super excited by this, because nothing better than getting guys on a lift in the middle of Route 32 to hang banners. So I will post it to social media. The new application, I think, is on the village website. So we are, is it not yet? No. Okay, we'll have it there. But she's guaranteeing it. But it probably be somewhere between 20 more banners that we will have available. I would just act quickly, because really those first 66 went like this. And I know that Maria in the back has a list already of at least, I think, 8 to 10. Yeah, so probably about 20 is what we're going to look at, 25, something like that. So please tell your friends, tell your veterans. Now is the time to get them in. I do want to thank Maria Hunter and her committee for the Memorial Day Parade. This is a huge undertaking. I have no idea what's involved with it, but I can imagine it's a lot of work. So just thank you, Maria. Thank you to your committee for all you've done with this, with the journal and whatnot. It is very much appreciated. I want to congratulate all the college graduates this weekend, or this past weekend, or this upcoming weekend, which includes my baby girl, who graduated from Siena College with a degree in social work. My little liberal, my little progressive. She's adorable. That's all that matters to me. So she did phenomenally. She graduated magna cum laude. Yeah. So she's good. She gets her brains from me, not from her mother. Gets her stunning good looks from me also. I just want to put that out there. I know. No, it's there. Yep. I'm gonna touch on briefly, but I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it because the video is out there from yesterday's public hearing on the open space. This, as I mentioned at the meeting, I literally had no intentions of actually going, and because I didn't think I needed to, because I thought it would be a 5-minute process, right? And I wound up having to speak because there were those that were speaking out against it. There was a lot of work put into this with this open space. This initially came up at our Land Preservation Committee through Sarah Sethna, and then Martha Lopez picked it up on social media when money was being handed out to other municipalities, and decided to inquire and ask a question. And it was from that question that Sue Suriello picked it up, and we were off to the races. There were a lot of good people involved with that. Karen Puggio, Lisa Hintz, Desiree Podvin, who handled all the, grant information. I mentioned Sue Suriello, Tara Burek over here, our Land Preservation Committee. It's a good get for the community, okay? And it's the beginning of what I'm looking at in terms of preserving open space. I mentioned that at the meeting to the legislators that I plan on putting another application in based on what we approved tonight. So it is what Tara and CJ talked about a few years back, which was preserving what we have and preserving that open space, preserving the character of what Woodbury once was. So with this particular parcel, there's a lot of good that we can do with this. So I mentioned some of it at the meeting with the board there, but it's a good program. It really is. So I do want to thank all those that were involved with it, that helped bring this, hopefully, fingers crossed, to the community. And I will keep you posted. So with that, I don't think I have anything else. Nah, right? Okay, with no further business to discuss or comments received, can I have a motion and a second to adjourn this meeting?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, wait for it. Our next scheduled meeting is June 12th. This is our reorganization meeting, ladies and gentlemen. So until then, remember, Chuck Norris was on American Idol. He won using sign language. Using sign language.